Every day is a long day for the Seminole County Public Schools transportation dispatchers. Playing one of the most important roles in the education of students in Central Florida, the bus drivers of Seminole County do not take their job lightly. But in the midst of an extreme labor shortage plaguing the nation, Seminole County is lacking around 30 bus drivers, making for a majorly unideal situation.
We've increased our ABO. ABO is average bus occupancy. So instead of an ABO, we might have 47, 48 elementary students. Now we might have 55 elementary students.
It's usually packed. Every single seat is taken, 2 people per seat, and sometimes there's 3.
The value of the bus drivers in the public school system has significantly decreased, and their pay has done the same. Paid below the poverty line, the demanding job of being a bus driver is becoming increasingly unattractive to the workforce, as large companies will pay more for easier work.
A lot of the jobs now, like a school bus driver's job, it's being paid less than the poverty line. So therefore, it's hard to get employees when you're not paying that much money. So now you're dealing with Amazon, which pays about $17, $18, $19, and you're only paying $14. It's hard to compete with the public sector.
The public school transportation dispatch has had to take some unfavorable measures to ensure that each student makes it to school, even at the expense of their office workers.
Office staff has to drive now. Office staff has to dispatch. Office staff has to do driving duties, and then after they're done doing their driving duties, they have to come and do their duties. So now we're having these employees work Saturday and Sunday just to meet the demand.
And the lack of drivers that sit in these seats is having a huge impact on the people who sit in those seats.
We're usually 3 minutes late after the bell is already rung, so we've already missed a part of the class.
It causes a tumbling effect. If you're not there for class or you come in late for class, then we have to catch you up. And it just keeps happening over and over and over.
Bus drivers are also extremely vital to many high school clubs and programs here in Central Florida. They are reliant on bus drivers to be available to drive them to outside activities. And the shortage of drivers has caused many hardships to the programs.
We've gone from 4 buses to 3 buses just because they don't have enough bus drivers to drive us there. So we've had to pretty much pack the buses in order to go to games or to competitions.
A bus driver's importance to the community is undeniable, and now it's up to Central Florida to decide just how to get their buses and drivers back on track. For WROR-TV, I'm Kaylin Herbet, reporting. Finding one's true passion in life is something that everyone dreams of, but Karen Dom, a local artist and art teacher, has done just that. In her renovated art studio built right onto her family home, she spends her days encouraging the people of Oviedo to unlock their creativity by providing a space meant entirely for the expression of art.
I teach classes that are weekly, ongoing, like an open studio time, where people can come and they can learn a little bit of art theory, but then they can also bring whatever projects they've been wanting to work on. And a lot of times people have things they want to create, but they don't have the time carved out in their calendar, or maybe they just don't even have a space in their home set aside. So it's a good place for them to come, spread out their mess, have fun making things.
And according to her many clients, friends, and partners, it seems as if Karen possesses a natural talent for teaching and creating. She highlights the importance of a welcoming atmosphere and uses her many talents to bring the arts to everyone.
What she does through her studio and through her art camps brings the arts to people that otherwise might not have access to it. And she brings it to them in a way that is so easy for them to come to, welcoming and accepting, no matter whether they've ever laid paint on a piece of paper before or they've done it their whole life.
All artists look to extend their influence outside their home art studios. And for Karen, she switches out her small canvases for something much larger, the city of Oviedo.
I love being a part of the Public Art Board. It began in 2017, and I was one of the founding members, and I just love just kind of being able to give back a little. I'm happy to be able to use my gifts and talents and skills to, create something either for the community to look at, or even on the board we help bring in other artists who might create things.
Through her work bringing beauty to Oviedo and inspiration to its citizens, Karen has become a staple in the community, bringing light and peace to the stresses of everyday life.
I hope to create a little time of refreshment for people, a time for them to kind of step away from their work and their jobs and duty or family. I try to create things and encourage people to create things that are just uplifting.
For WROR-TV, I'm Kaylin Herbet, reporting. The quiet little city of Oviedo has been widely known for its family-friendly environment and small-town community feel. But in the past few months, the city has become unrecognizable amidst the road widening, residential building, and all-around chaos. But elected city officials say that the change is required by the state and necessary to support population growth.
Every 20 years, you go through what's called a comprehensive plan update. And that's something we just did. And what that is the state requires that we are able to accommodate in our zoning in the city the growth that is coming. A lot of people are like, we don't want any growth, we don't want any change. We don't really have a choice.
There are many changes in the works, affecting students and long-term residents alike. The once small rural town Oviedo was in the past is becoming a Floridian hotspot.
When I was growing up, of course, Oviedo was probably around 2,000 people at the most, one's traffic light. That compared to what is now is extraordinary.
The biggest thing is construction in front of Oviedo High School. And the plan there is to widen the road from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, and there's going to be a big median in the middle. There's only 2 really big projects going right now, and that's a thing called the Dwell behind, kind of by the Oviedo Mall. There's going to be, I think it's like 350 or so luxury apartments back there. And same thing for the buildings right across, kind of behind Chick-fil-A across from Panera.
These changes are being done slowly and smartly, trying to preserve as much of Oviedo's trademark natural beauty and small town charm as possible amidst the thriving population.
You can say, we don't want it, but we have to do it anyways. So we just kind of put the numbers in there and see where it goes. Or we do it the smart way, or we say, okay, we have to put this growth into the city, so let's put it where we can handle it.
And while the Oviedo chickens have been replaced by construction workers for the time being, Oviedo still remains an amazing place to live. And the vision for the city promises to deliver a place that's better than ever before.
It's gratifying that Oviedo is a place that the people that were already here helped shape it into a place that other people wanted to come to.
And while this development takes place, who represents our city and speaks up for the people is more important than ever.
You're never too young to get involved, and local elections matter. So I would say that more than any state or federal level, what affects you in your day-to-day, that stuff's important, but your local elections and leaders and city, they really matter.
Oviedo continues to shine bright amongst current destruction, promising to be a place that residents can continue to be proud of. For WROR-TV, I'm Kaylin Herbet, reporting. Deep in Oviedo High School's hallways, a 9th grade English teacher spends her school days surrounded by her not-so-ordinary collection. Her collection of Shrek.
Well, the collection is extensive. It started with the cutout. I really expanded my collection by making a lot of my own Shrek stuff. So I have like a mug that I've made, I have like signs, posters.
Her collection origin story, like many others, started out as a joke, but it slowly shaped itself into her teaching identity.
I had some roommates, and our freshman year of college, we kind of started this joke amongst ourselves. We would say our favorite movie was Shrek. When I became a teacher after college, I had to think of, I've always been kind of like an extra person, so I had to think of something fun.
A teacher and her Shrek collection may be as odd of a pairing as Donkey and the Dragon, but it does have a special way of inspiring her students in the classroom.
She uses her Shrek collection as activities, and sometimes she lets us do things that are Shrek themed, and it's nice to use them in a lesson because it's not just what we're supposed to be learning. It's something fun.
Miss Ferrante's Shrek collection quite literally fills her classroom with fun and fantasy, and when the year is over, leaves her students with something to remember. For WROR-TV, I'm Kaylin Herbet.